What is up, everybody? So we are gonna start from the beginning of this project and build an entire scene from beginning to end. This first section is concentrating on using DAZ clothes with MetaHuman. Okay, so basically we've created we've put the human in. I've got a million tutorials on how to do this, so I won't go over this again. And once you're human in, you can just mess around with its materials, which is awesome, fantastic. So you can mess around. I wouldn't do it just yet. I would wait until he's in the scene or she's in the scene. And once you've got all your lighting and whatnot in, and determining if it's a wet scene, a bright scene, whatever, then start messing around with their materials. So over here, all I've done is I've pulled in a sequencer, put in a camera, and I'm just getting like a rough kind of how I want to see my shot. Once you plan your shot, you can build for your shot, which makes life a lot easier. Okay, so over here, I'm literally just messing around and seeing how he looks in the scene, just messing around, enjoying the process, and that's the most important thing. It's just start to enjoy your process. Start messing around with the camera. Start seeing how things look. Start messing around with your apertures and your focal lengths and your you know getting things in and out of depth of field. But you don't need to do this yet. You're just trying to get like a basic camera for your shot. What do you want to focus on? What do you want to see? What is your shot? It helps so much if you plan your shot beforehand. Just knowing even a rough of what you want to do. For example, for this, I want to do a scene of a dude. He's by himself and is in like this dystopian or derelict kind of a scene with buildings wrecked, or like kind of like an apocalyptic scene. And I want to concentrate on him, kind of like an intro scene. When you start a game and you have the camera moving slightly and the character just doing random things. That's what I want to get from this. And so I'm just kind of over here. I know where my camera's going because I've kind of planned my shot. I'm going to see a lot of close-ups. I'm going to mess around with his animation. By the way, this animation I'm going to provide for free to everybody. In the next couple of episodes, I'll provide the animations and whatnot, whatever I can, I'll provide, and you can use them as you want. I don't care. You can use them till your heart content, and however way you want to use them, go ahead and use them. It's totally fine. Right, so back to this. I'm just messing around with the camera and just getting a basic of my shot. Why aren't I doing an environment beforehand? Because I want to build for shot. I don't want to stand there and put little cracks in the ground where you're never going to see it in the shot, or little blades of grass or details where I'm not going to see it in the shot. I know my shot. I've got a board. I know what I'm doing. So I can go in and I can start planning my camera, which is cool. Now over here, I'm exporting the MetaHuman. You just export it, click on him, export as an FBX, you're good to go. Right, there's my settings. And once you've got that, you can open up the free version of MetaTailor, and you can bring him as an avatar, right? So you can select avatar, import him, and then you've got that exact MetaHuman inside, and you can use it. There he is. You can load him. And now I want to dress him with DAZ clothes, right? You just go through I've got a tutorial on how to use MetaHuman. Go ahead and check it out. And over here, I'm in DAZ. I've loaded up the clothes that I want to use, and I export each one as an FBX. Okay, nothing great, all normal settings, and I'm just exporting the clothes as an FBX object. No skeleton, nothing, just FBXs or OBJs, whatever you want to use. Export the clothes, right? One by one, whatever it is. If they close on, or if they go over each other, you can export them still, all separately. Now back in MetaTailor, I'm literally just importing each garment one by one, and then following how it goes. Once again, I've got a tutorial on how to use MetaTailor. I'm just sizing it up as best I can, and then I'm letting it run. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm kind of shrink wrapping, just tweaking a couple of things within MetaTailor, shrink wrap, the usual. Very easy. You can take the grab tool and you can start just refining some points, seeing how you want things to move or fit on the body. I want it more close on his body, kind of more of a tighter fit. So you can use the grab tool. This is the free version, by the way. So this is not a paid version. You can do this with the free version. The only difference is when you export, you can't just export the clothes, but we'll get to that. Okay. So carry on moving the grab tool. Take your time to fit things properly. And once again, you could just make sure everything is pretty cool, exactly the way you want to see it. Once you're done with that, you can import the pants and you can fit them onto your character. Boom. See how to fit the character, how to fit the pants. That's my dog. And this was the pants, the shoes, and I'm just fitting everything roughly to the character. Seeing how it works and just getting everything in its place. Once you import these things, you can start layering them. There's the pants, there's the jacket, there's everything you need. My dog's scratching himself. Hey, can you stop? What are you doing? I'm recording. Okay, so use the grab tool and take your time on this just to make sure everything is fitting well, the way you want it. Relax, enjoy the process. Don't try and rush this part. It doesn't help. Even in the little, see that butt crack? Even take your time to put it properly there, wherever. Take your time. Ari, stop it. Stop, Margaret. Don't you look at his pants like that, Margaret. You only look at mine. So take your time, slowly put things in, relax. Art's not about rushing. It's about getting things just nicely done. And once you've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the export menu, you're going to export it, and you're going to export the entire FBX, right? You're going to get the entire character, everything. Use Blender or Maya, delete the character, everything else besides the clothes, but you still want those clothes attached to the skeleton. So just delete the meshes you don't want. That's it. Export again as an FBX and drag and drop it into your Unreal. Now you're going to have to pick the skeleton of the MetaHuman that you're using, and once you've done that, you can just say import and you're good. Then you're going to go off to its body, which is right there. Select your MetaHuman, import this. Remember, select the same skeleton as the MetaHuman for your clothes. Go into the body and you can literally just replace. Here we go. So we choose that MetaHuman skeleton and we import the clothes, right? Once you've got that inside of this, okay, here's just a clearer view of showing you deleting all the meshes besides the things that I'm looking for. Over here, I'm just taking the clothes because on the MetaHuman, I've already got the boots, right? So just taking the clothes on the skeleton, select all, export all, import it, use the MetaHuman skeleton, and you're good to go. It should show up like this. You've got your clothes. Go into the torso of the MetaHuman and just drag and drop your clothes in there. And there we go. You have your clothes on your MetaHuman, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Now you may find a few flaws with it or a couple of things that aren't working right. Not a big deal. You can go straight back into MetaTailor, fix things, or Maya, or Blender. Remember, you can delete the meshes in Blender or Maya, it doesn't matter. And you may have to go back and forth, tweak a few things, re-import, and start seeing if it's working a lot better. And there we go. Now because I replaced the torso, you can see in between the pants and the shirt, it loses the textures of the skin. This I'll get to on a different tutorial, but we'll fix all of these things. It's not a big deal. We're good. So over here, you can see I'm just looking for all the materials, right? So I can click on the pants, go, and I can go find all the textures of my clothes, and I can open them up into copy the URL, whatever, the address, and copy and paste them into Explorers, and then I've got all the textures for these clothes. From there, we good to go. I do it for all of them. Every piece you use, you're gonna have to do the same. And then you can take all of these textures and you can drag and drop them straight into Unreal Engine. You make a folder, take all the textures and start dragging them into Unreal Engine so that you can start texturing your clothing. If none of this is clear or something's bypassed, let me know. I know I go a little bit quick, but let me know if there's anything that you kind of stuck on. From there, I can just start making materials, putting the textures on, and bam, just loading them up onto the clothes. You can see over here, I'm adding all the new maps. I'm just duplicating the next material, naming it whatever I need to, and dragging the right maps into it, and then dragging that into the correct slots of the character. And then from there, you get your materials on your character. And that is how wicked and easy it is to get DAZ clothes. It's a process, right? That's what it is. It's a process. It's going to take you time to get everything done correctly, but once you've got it all on, you have your DAZ clothes on your metahumans. It's actually a very straightforward process. You make your metahuman, import into Unreal, export that metahuman out as an FBX, take it into MetaTailor, create an avatar from it. Once you've created that avatar, you can start going into DAZ, make all your clothes, just export the clothes one by one out of DAZ as FBX or OBJ, bring those into MetaTailor, start binding them, and then export your character out. Get rid of your character if you're using the free version in Blender or Maya. Just delete all the meshes you don't need. Just leave the clothes on the skeleton. Import that skeleton. Make sure you're using that same metahuman skeleton, and then attach it to the torso. Make your materials, bring in your textures from DAZ, and apply them. And there we go. You have your character using DAZ clothes, which is pretty damn cool. Margaret, I told you not to look at this sexy, rugged man, Margaret. You only look at me, Margaret. So on the next ones, we're going to start getting into, many things, effects, how to make the hair blow in the wind, how to start building a scene, how to start, refining cameras, this entire shot, visual effects, lighting, everything. We'll get into completely and utterly building a finished shot. So I hope this one helped. And this is like an introduction to just start getting into our shot. I hope you join me for the series. I hope you learn things, ask questions if you get lost. And I hope this helps. Really, I do. If there's anything that's not clear, feel free to shout at me at the chats. Don't shout at me. Okay, just ask me questions, as many as you need, and I'll try and answer them. All right, I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.